even though this is a weaker version. Alright, let's head towards the next boss. Trying to make sure I've got my stuff ready, because obviously I've done this before. I know what to expect. Alright, let's go. Actually have quite a bit of cutscene here for once.
Don't disrupt the students while class is in session. I believe you're familiar with the lesson plan. The same regimen you went through in Liberia. Effective program. Just look how you turned out. Of course, running it in the real world just got a bit too complicated. Doing it virtually, though, no fuss, no muss. Straight to the brain. It's like a dream. Well, maybe dream is the wrong word. They do kill some POWs, some civilians. They enjoy it, though. We give their pleasure centers a nice big jolt every time. Plus, they get a shiny new body as a graduation present. Another thing you have in common.
I chose this. They're kids, you son of a bitch.
And kids are cruel. All people are by nature. They just lose touch with it as they get older. Start thinking they know right and wrong. That's immoral. War crime this, code of conduct that. Kids, you can mold, manipulate into performing all kinds of atrocities. And there's nothing like a good atrocity to keep a war going.
That's why I'm shutting you down.
You just don't see the bigger picture, do you? Say you bring this whole place down. Waltz out of the rubble with all these precious brains. Nothing changes. All the guys in charge are long gone. We've got offices around the world. We're just suppliers. We don't create the market for war.
And who does? The Patriots are gone.
Those guys just manage the war economy. They didn't invent it. Did you think every battle in history was all part of some big old conspiracy? Bullshit! War is just part of who we are. Why fight it? Anyway, none of this will matter in 3 hours. Demand for PMCs is about to skyrocket. Like the good old days after 9/11.
What are you talking about?
Not here. Follow me.
Okay, some interesting stuff there in that cutscene.
Raiden, get Sundowner. Do
Alright.
not lose him this time.
Alright, so this is annoying because the first time I played this I thought this was some kind of chase and I had to just sprint straight after him, and because of that I didn't bother getting any of the items. So this is my first time, well my second time through this bit, but it's the first time I actually stopped to try and get the items, so you don't actually have to chase after him. So don't do what I did and just take your time here and make sure you get everything. This place is a little bit matrixy actually, with the brains being harvested and all that kind of stuff. It's a bit, reminds me of that. So yeah, Sundowner's you know, a supplier in this whole kind of PMC kind of thing. So it's a little bit of a shame. I mean, obviously if you're a player of the Metal Gear series, then you know you're going to know that supposedly we tried to end all of this stuff in MGS4, and it hasn't really had too much of an effect, because even though the Patriots aren't running things, there's still people that want to, you know, use wars to create economic opportunities. So I guess when that happens, then we get more of this kind of stuff where people are turned into cyborgs and made to fight. So kind of like SOP. I mean, I think they say it in one of the acts. Is basically cyborgs are kind of like SOP. So basically nothing's really changed, which is a shame. Anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to take down Mr. Sundowner. Time to put Sundowner's light out. But before we do that, I forgot about this last time. Good thing I found it now. Wonder how many VR missions there are. We're up to 17. I don't remember how many I collected throughout the entire playthrough, but up to 17. I have no idea what the VR actually looks like. I might try it out once I complete it. Again, I ran straight through this bit because I was convinced this was a chase. There's a nano pace in it for you if you just take your time. So it's advisable to do that. Alright, here we go. Let's take this big guy down. I'm going to enjoy this.
How's this, Jack? We can play up here without damaging the merchandise.
What happens in 3 hours?
Don't matter. You're too late. Even at Mach 2, you wouldn't make it. And killing you is gonna take some time. Slow and painful. Like I said, kids are cool, Jack. And I'm very in touch with my inner child. You can be cooler than that, Jack.
Alright, here comes my second fight with Sundowner. Alright, once again, as you can see, the monsoon weapon is helping me nicely. So I've taken about 10% in the space of about 10 seconds. So that's nice. I really kicked his ass at the start here. But that helicopter's going to be a little bit annoying, especially when he fires rockets at you. So I sacrificed a hit there in order to take that helicopter out. So, what can I say about Sundowner? Basically, he's got that attack, which is really difficult to avoid, and his armor is explosive. So those plates that he's got, if you attack him while his plates are up, then you're going to take damage. So you don't want to be doing that. And after a certain stage, he's just going to kind of put that up and wait for you to kind of attack him. And what happens is when he puts that plate up, oh shit! Like I said, that's really difficult to avoid. What's going to happen is you're going to get a free shot at Zandatsuing it. But it was something that for some reason I couldn't master it. I found it really difficult to get a completely straight cut. I mean, as you can see, I Zandatsu'd that correctly, and yet I still got blown up somehow. So it's difficult.
If you can only hit the right spot with your
to be honest, in retrospect, yeah, I mean, I know that, but it wasn't until, actually, retrospectively, it wasn't until the final boss battle they actually figured out how to do it. I finally kind of mastered how to accurately Zandatsu, and it's to do with tilting the camera rather than kind of making the strike correctly. It's more about tilting the camera so that you lock onto all three of them, so that when you do swipe, you do an accurate swipe. So when you're playing it, I think it's more the left analog stick. Use that to, well, you're far from invincible. You've already lost half of your health, so. And I mean, to be honest, I mean, you don't really need to do much. I mean, even when he's got his shield up, you can just run around behind him and get some free shots, as you can see. So, I mean, as you can see, I'm not doing too badly here, and I'm not even making use of the Zandatsu. So, obviously I'm not going to get a very great rank because of that, but, oh shit. So yeah, that's his big attack if you let him hit you. What you might notice is that when you're fighting these bosses, once you get to around like 50-60% HP, you start doing a hell of a lot less damage. So you hit him up, but you do like 0.2% damage per hit. So it's a bit, it does get a bit frustrating. The first time I faced him when I didn't have any nano paste, I got him down to about 30%. But after that, I mean, you just start doing so little damage that it just, after a while, I just couldn't take it anymore. And his hits do a fair bit of damage, so... I mean, it's been a while and I've only done about 8%. No. You see, I think it's because I'm trying to do it with the right analog stick, and it's very sensitive to changing direction, so I think it's all about the left analog stick when you're trying to Zandatsu accurately. But that's something I found out much later on. So perhaps, I guess, if you could Zandatsu it, he might kind of drop items as a reward for doing that. But because I didn't get any of the Zandatsus, I wasn't getting any nano pace as well. So yeah. But it's after about 50%, it is tough going, and I start getting a bit impatient. That's why I'm taking all these unnecessary hits. Because I mean, he's not really doing much to me. I just want to kind of get this done. He just kind of gets those cheap shots, those 360 again. But at least while he's got the shield up, it gives you a chance to take out the helicopter. So it's not too bad. And all you have to do is just wait. Get an extra like 0.7% using the Zandatsu there. So yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's all the same old stuff. Because I've still got 2 nano pace in reserve, I'm just going all out to try and take him down. Because I know we're coming to the end of the chapter as well. I'm thinking surely after this I'll get opportunities to... I'm going to end the chapter anyway, so I might as well just go hard. I mean, luckily, like we've noticed with these bosses, they once you get to a certain level, they kind of give you the last 10% for free, and Sundowner is no different. So you have to get him down to about 10, I think it is. Monster's weapon still proving useful. If anything, like I said, I continue using that pretty much to the end of the game. Because the weapon you get from this guy is extremely heavy. Wow, actually avoided that attack. Yeah, the weapon you get from him is very heavy. So, I mean, you don't really use that unless you come up against something really slow and you just want to maximize your damage. I'm trying to draw him into some attacks so I can parry and then leave him in the open like this. Do a bit of extra damage. Again. So I think that works fairly well. Kind of just shock him and then Zandatsu. That does a fair bit of damage, and it gives you time to avoid this attack as well. Yeah, to be honest, I really couldn't break his shield, not even once, which is disappointing. I would have loved to have been able to Zandatsu that properly, but I was getting frustrated and constantly getting blown up, so I just gave it a miss. Almost there. He's on his last leg now. I ran out of homing missiles just in time as well. Thank God I finished it off now. There we go. Still a little bit more to do. Still no battle rank yet, so we know there's more to do. Oh well, it was nice and convenient that there was a slider waiting to catch my fall. It was nice of him. Kind of reminds me of The Matrix. I don't know if you've ever played the Matrix game before. It's a little section that's a little bit similar to this. Well, this was fun. I mean, at least it's not always just kind of running and gunning. It's a little bit more. This is kind of interesting. It's pretty easy. I think I get hit once here. But other than that, I think it's clean. So yeah, like I said, because we haven't got any battle rank or anything yet. The Sundowner boss battle isn't completely over yet. There's still a little bit more to do. But because we've got him under 10%, it's kind of the cinematic kind of gameplay bits that we've got left. There we go. To 1,000,000 pieces. Not quite 1,000,000, but I just want to chop his head. His little ball head. Oh, I enjoyed that.
It's over.
Yeah. I think even the fact that I got a B rank without using the Zandatsu was quite impressive. I was happy with that for a first time.
What happens in 3 hours?
He'll launch Operation Tecumseh.
Who? Armstrong?
I've already said too much. I have a call to make.
Got yourself shaving?
Asshole. He's good. Real good. You knew this would happen, didn't you? Well, you get your wish. Up to you now. Sam.
Raiden here. I've taken Marshall HQ.
Yeah. I have just entered Denver airspace. I will be there soon.
Hurry.
Raiden, what Sundowner said.
I know. Anything that'll rival 9/11 cannot be good.
And in 3 hours, maybe less. He said even Mach 2 could not get there in time.
If he was serious, that's over 4,000 miles away.
4,500. So whatever it is, it's not happening on American soil.
If it's gonna spike demand for PMCs, it's gotta be a political hotspot. A coup or civil war in a stable region wouldn't have a domino effect.
And they'd want to draw in a superpower. No.
What?
The president. He's on his way to Pakistan. If something happens to him there,
Oh, shit. The War on Terror Part 2.
contact the military.
Official channels are frozen since Mexico. Unofficial channels would take too long.
Besides, what's our proof? Who's gonna believe us over World Marshal?
Then we have to get there first.
Невозможно. Impossible. It is the other side of the planet. Even if we were in the world's fastest jet right now, it's not even close.
Hold up. It's not a jet we need.
Courtney?
An RLV would make it with time to spare.
That's...
Mach 23 if we're talking 1 atmosphere. 17,650 miles per hour.
That would make Pakistan in under half an hour.
Right. Contact Solus.
Okay, so that concludes that chapter, and to be honest, from that little cutscene at the end, what I established was that Raiden's maths is pretty decent. Combat rank C, yeah. Just look at those individual ones. I thought that was a decent effort. Other than the D, it was alright. Okay, so we need to get in some kind of rocket ship in order to get to Pakistan and stop this second war on terror from starting. Alright, we'll continue from there in the next chapter, and we'll do some customizing and that kind of stuff.